Hello, Tony here, back on my channel on the Wednesday slot with another box opening. And for this box opening, we have a set that kinda crept out of nowhere to be one of the best set releases this year. That being the newly released Brothers of Legend set. So to provide some context, Brothers of Legend is the next in line in a series of Legend sets released every year that serves as one of the major import sets for the TCG. As many would know, the OCG is notorious for releasing game-breaking cards in sets beyond their general core sets. From side sets like the collector packs to specialty products like the premium collections, the OCG has access to a sizable card pool of powerful options that the TCG does not. And often that creates issues for the TCG when they need to equalize this card pool, as core sets only provide a handful of spots for OCG imports. As such, the Of Legends series of side sets were created in 2014 to serve primarily as a means to import a bunch of these cards en masse. Containing a plethora of OCG exclusives released in the last few years, Brothers of Legend potentially introduces a brand new meta to the TCG. Included inside are brand new archetypes like the Floral Knights and the Karibos, as well as support for older archetypes like Altergeist, Utopia, and the Numbers. Furthermore, Brothers of Legend also brings reprints for some of the most expensive cards in the game, in Magician's Soul, Evil Hero Odessa Gold, and even the prize card, number 79, Diabolos the Mind Hacker. And if that wasn't enough, following a trend set in the last year's Battles of Legend Armageddon, Brothers of Legend also has two new premium rare cards in the Astral Language number 17 Leviathan Dragon and the Starlight Rare Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So hopefully we pull some of these cards in this box opening. Anyway, I've droned on enough. Without a further ado, let's get into the box opening. Popping off this plastic here, as with all my box openings, I will occasionally pause to talk more in depth about the things I pull. I think doing so provides more context to my pulls, as well as gives the viewers a more informed understanding of the set. But regardless, getting into my first pack on the left here, we have a Detonate, a Eidos, a new card in Hidden Fangs of Revenge, a Rank Up Magic Argent Force, as well as Stealth Kraken Spawn, one of the new Rank 4 Water Xyz for mostly Water Xyz decks. Going to the other pack now. Next card we have is a White Mirror. Now this is a fantastic card. This card acts as a reborn for any level 4 water monster or a level 4 water fish monster, and in doing so also searches for a fish monster of the same name, essentially acting as a reborn and a Rhoda as well. Definitely a card to hang on to. We have the ultra rare Fossil Dig, a Astral Utopia, an Inzektor Exabeetle, as well as Rebirth Judgment, essentially acting as a DNA surgery for monsters in the graveyard. Moving on to that third pack. Our third pack, oh wow. If you can zoom in on this, you might be able to see some damage on the back. That's unfortunate if we pull something good. We have a Godarla, a card that heavily needed a reprint. One of the new Karibo brothers in Curry Bay. A Ice Knight, one of the cards exclusively shown in the GX series. An Appliancer Propelion, as well as a reprint of Relinquished Anima. Moving on to our fourth pack here. We have an Ice Mirror, one of the cards also played in one of those GX episodes with the Monarchs. Unfortunately nerfed, so nowhere near as good. We have Summon Storm, Left Hand Shark, which paired with Right Hand Shark makes number 50 Crooked Cook a really busted card. A Appliancer Conversion, as well as Noble Knight Shield Bearer. So Noble Knight Shield Bearer actually, if you want to be amazed, is actually part of the Floral Knight archetype. And I think this is a good time for me to pause to talk specifically about that archetype. So if the name Floral Knights already sounds familiar to you, that might be because this archetype has technically existed since 2010 as a singular monster in Chevalier de Fleur. Played by Sherry LeBlanc in Yu-Gi-Oh's 5Ds anime, the Floral Knights were a hodgepodge of loosely related cards that played with the express goal of summoning out the Chevalier Synchros. However, the actual support for the Chevalier would not be seen until this year, in the set Synchro Storm, which released the first wave of support for the Chevalier in 4 notable new cards. These cards included a retrain of Chevalier de Fleur in Baron de Fleur, The new Necro Synchron, which treated itself as Fleur Synchron while on the field or grave for easier Chevalier summoning conditions. The White Steed of Floral Knights for fulfilling the non-tuner aspect of Chevalier, as well as a premature barrel for level 2 monsters, like your Fleur Synchron, for easier synchro access. Brothers of Legend would then expand that further with 4 new cards. The first is another steed in our Horse of Floral Knights, a card that on summon can search into a light noble knight and can perform a fusion summon while on the field using monsters from your hand or field. Now if both of those effects sound off theme, bear with me because it will all make sense soon. The targets for your horse's search is either your Noble Knight Spearholder or your Noble Knight Shield Bearer. Spearholder on summon can turn any level 8 or lower monster into a Fleur Synchron tuner, setting that monster up perfectly for making Chevalier with the level 2 non-tuner Spearholder. Furthermore, Spearholder can also tribute itself to search for any equip spell, an effect designed with searching your premature burial in mind. Spearholder, on the other hand, allows you to banish light monsters in your graveyard to draw cards, but when sent to the graveyard, can add any level 6 or lower wind beast, i.e. any of your other 2 steeds. This entire strategy is capped by the fusion monster Centaur Mina, a level 6 fusion monster that requires a light warrior, like your noble knights, and a beast, like your horse, to summon, and can special summon level 2 monsters from your hand or graveyard. Combining all these cards together, here is how the deck is intended to work. Summoning out your horse, you can use Horse's effect on summon to either grab you into your Spearholder or your Shield Bearer. From there, you can use Horse's effect to fusion summon with itself alongside the Search Noble Knight to then summon out your Centaur Mina. If you searched and then fused with your Spearholder, you could then use Centaur Mina's effect to resummon out the Spearholder, to then turn Centaur Mina into a level 6 Fleur Synchron tuner, to then synchro summon with it alongside the Spearholder to make your Chevalier de Fleur. But if you were to instead search into your Shield Bearer, most likely because you have a level 2 monster, you can use Shield Bearer's effect on Fusion Summon to grab you into a Floral Knight White Steed, of which you could then use Centaur Mina's effect to special summon out the level 2 monster to then special summon out the White Steed for further plays. And that's not even accounting for the wacky plays you can do by tributing out your Spearholder to either grab and equip or the level modulation of your Necro Synchron to make Baron. Nonetheless, the combination of both the support in Synchro Storm and Brothers of Legend fully fleshes out the Floral Knights to finally create a deck with enough playbills to actually construct the deck from. And that is something I look forward to profiling one day in the future for you guys. Getting back into the opening, we move on to our 5th pack. This pack will have 1 Dollhouse, 1 Fighting Spirit, another Reborn for the AI archetype, a rank up magic Utopiforce, a Zexo Catapult, support for Zexo weapons, as well as the Seeker in Doll Parade, or Toy Parade, a card for the Frightfur archetype. See, as I mentioned before with the OC imports, there's a bunch of support for a number of different archetypes released in the last few years, including, as you just saw there, Frightfur. We have Starlight Road, reprinted for the nth time, a Noble Knight Shield Bearer, one of the cards for the Noble Knight archetype, a Kaiju Capture Mission, because the Kaiju cards were hardly in new print, a Eye Show, another card for the Eye archetype, as well as Zexo Sage Utopic, or Zexo Server Utopic Sage. Now this is a card actually released in the structure deck for numbers in the OCG, a structure deck that unfortunately we aren't getting. As a result of that, I think I'm going to pause to talk about that structure deck a little more in depth. Konami has recently taken on a pretty horrible trend of importing OCG structure decks into choice cards in side sets. Starting way back when they made the Pendulum Evolution structure deck into an entire set by itself, this trend has continued throughout the years with both the Master Link structure deck as well as the Dragoonity R structure deck. Unfortunately, this trend rears its ugly head again as Brothers of Legend imports the Overlay Universe structure deck as 5 new cards in the set. Prime among them is the new Utopia boss monster, Utopia Dragnar. A rank 12 monster, Utopia Dragnar can be made using 3 level 12 monsters. As a quick effect, Utopia Dragnar can detach 2 of its materials to summon any number monster between 1 to 100 directly from the X deck. Furthermore, as perhaps an upgrade to the original Utopia's attack negation effect, Utopia Dragnar can drop the attack of any attacking monster to 0. Now, gathering 3 level 12 monsters to make Dragnar definitely sounds like a difficult feat. But fortunately, Brothers of Legend also imports a card designed to make Dragnar much easier in the new rank up magic, Hyper Rank Up Magic Utopia Force. Activated by targeting any rank 9 or lower Utopia monster, Utopia Force ranks that monster up to any rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic monster. This obviously includes our Utopia Dragnar, but also includes powerful options like Utopia Kaiser and Utopic Dragon as well. Additionally, if an Xyz monster will be summoned by the effect of a Utopia or Utopic monster, like our Utopia Dragnar, Utopia Force can attach itself to that monster as a material. Completing this set is a third card in Brothers of Legend called Zexal Field. Zexal Field operates much like a magical meltdown for rank up magics, preventing your opponent from responding to effects that target your Xyz. More importantly though, should an Xyz monster be summoned, Zexal Field can attach to that monster another Xyz monster from your extra deck. Combining these three cards together, you can produce some pretty sick combos. Through the effect of your Utopia Force, you can turn any Utopia into a 3-material Utopia Dragnar. Then through the effect of your Zexal Field, you can attach an additional monster to the summoned Dragnar to end on a 4-material Utopia Dragnar. This gives you 2 uses of Dragnar's effect. On your turn, you could summon out a monster like Hope Harbinger or Zombestein, which can then gain a material through the additional effect of Utopia Force in your graveyard. Then, on your opponent's turn, you can use Dragnar's effect again to summon out another number and use Zexal Force to then attach a material to it. This second step is particularly powerful given that Dragnar can summon out Chaos numbers as well, specifically Chaos number 65, King Overfeed, who can have its base number attached by Zexal Field to then become a pseudo-true King of all calamities against your opponent. And while it may seem hard to gather the 3 specific card setup, it's made exponentially easier thanks to the 4th card in Brothers of Legend, Astral Utopia, a level 4 monster that can search for any manner of Zexal, Xyz, Onomat, or number cards, which can grab you your Zexal Field and then can be made into a Utopia double to make Utopia Dragnar that way as well. And thanks to the additional Utopia support present in Lightning Overdrive, which our Zexal Sage Utopia Sage can take advantage of, this deck is packing extreme consistency to very likely guarantee this setup turn 1 every turn, making this card definitely something to watch out for. Returning to our opening once more with the next pack. The next card we have is a alternate art number 39 Utopia in its sealed form, a Soul Burning Gate as part of the 5D support, another Karibo brother in Kariba, the Icebound God, as well as Starving Venomy Dragon, one of the manga exclusive cards for the Arc V manga. Alright, our next pack will have another Ice Mirror, an Inferno Decatron, because the Inferno cards were also horribly needed in reprint, a Penguin Sword for that Penguin support, a Numbers Protection for more number support as part of the structure deck, as well as an Altergeist Village Alert. Now this is one of the 3 cards released as support for the Altergeist archetype. Including this, there's also Altergeist Pukri and Altergeist Memory Gant, and those cards are expected to change the way Altergeist play. As a result of that, I think I'm going to pause once again to talk about the Altergeist cards released in this set. It's been a while since Altergeist have seen any major representation in the meta. Despite the deck being at full power and the power of traps being higher than ever, the deck just isn't seeing the wins it needs to be as top tier as before. And that might be because the deck currently lacks the killing power to end games fast enough relative to decks like Tri-Brigade or Sword Soul. Fortunately, the 3 cards that come out in Brothers of Legend hope to change that. Designed with an increase of speed in mind, these 3 Altergeist monsters aim to help Altergeist turbo out their best links at a frighteningly new pace. Starting with Vigilert, Vigilert triggers whenever an Altergeist is link summoned to special summon itself to a different link monster's arrow and treat that monster as an Altergeist for the turn. This not only puts a body on the field in Vigilert, but also allows you to turn non-Altergeist monsters into Altergeists to make their tribal links. Particularly, this will allow you to turn monsters like your Link Karibo into an Altergeist to make Hextia, which can then combo with whatever Altergeist link you already made to get really big. Adding on to that concept is our Altergeist Pukri, a level 1 Altergeist that can be used as a link material in hand whenever you would use an Altergeist on field as a link material. At the bare minimum, Pukri and any other Altergeist is a normal summon into Hextia, which is a fantastic setup for the Altergeist going first. But to make matters sweeter, Pukri can, once per duel, add itself back from your graveyard to your hand whenever you would link summon an Altergeist link. This gives Pukri 2 uses to create potentially 2 different Altergeist links, or even further use to help it climb into our next monster. That monster being our link for Altergeist Memory Gaunt. Packing a natural 2800 attack points, Memory Gaunt can tribute monsters in the battle phase to gain the tributed monster's attack on the field. This effect combos particularly well with Hextia, as Memory Gaunt gains the boosted attack of Hextia to become massive. Furthermore, should Memory Gaunt run over a monster by battle, it can destroy another monster and then make a second attack. This, combined with that sizable attack boost, could potentially clear a field and then just go for game. And if that wasn't enough, Memory Gaunt also is installed with built-in protection, being able to banish monsters in your graveyard to protect itself from destruction. All in all, these 3 Altergeist cards are absolutely incredible options for the deck, guaranteed to help Altergeist get up to speed with the current meta. And hopefully with the right build and the right player, we might see a bit more Altergeist in our future. Returning to this opening once again, I'm really sorry for having to pause so much. Usually there isn't as much for me to talk about in a lot of these sets, but this set just has so many bangers. We have the Zexal Server Sylphid Wing, Downward Magician, which was kind of getting up there in price, another Summon Stage, another Noble Knight Shield Bearer, and a Nibiru reprint. Now this is very nice. Nibiru was once again kind of getting hard to find, especially with the last reprint being the Gold Series last year, so this is a welcome reprint. We have a Zexal Server Ouroboros stage, a Red Eyes Fusion reprint, also welcome, an Edia the Heavenly Squire, another reprint, a Silent Sea Nettle, which is a level 4 water extender, fantastic for water decks, as well as Centaur Mina, one of the cards for the Floral Knight deck. Right. Proceeding from there, we have a Resurgam Xyz reprint, a Numbers Protection, another Penguin Sword, Fossil Dig, as well as DForce. Okay, so DForce here, as you may suggest, is a Destiny Hero support card. More specifically, it's a Destiny Hero Plasma support card. You may have seen this card in the anime, and this card is every good as it was in the anime. In fact, it's even better. As a result of that, I think I'm going to cause for the 4th time now to talk about DForce and the implications it has for the Destiny Heroes. With the release of Burst of Destiny, we saw the release of a new wave of Destiny Hero support. And while monsters like Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer adds to the deck in general capabilities, the deck has always leaned toward their big boss monsters to end games, particularly with Destiny Hero Plasma. Plasma has always been a good card. Loaded with built-in equip removal and a skill drain effect, Plasma is a card that can take games even today. And with the swarming capabilities of cards like Vision Hero Varus and Destiny Hero Malicious, it was never hard to amass the 3 monsters necessary to summon Plasma. The only issue with Plasma was that it lacked protection and it lacked consistency. But all that changes with the new DForce card. When activated, DForce can grab Plasma from either the deck or graveyard. Because it grabs from the graveyard, it ensures you will only ever need 1 copy of Plasma to work. More importantly though, while Plasma is on the field, DForce prevents any of your cards from being targeted by card effects, protects your Plasma from card destruction, and increases its attack by 100 for each monster in your graveyard, and allows it to attack twice, all at the cost of giving up your draw for turn. And that's a pretty good trade-off. Not only does DForce search your Plasma, but it turns Plasma into an indestructible double attacking juggernaut that grants targeting protection to your entire field. Combined with Plasma's own equip effect and DForce's attack boost, it's very easy for Plasma to hit extreme levels of attack to become game enders on its own. But if that wasn't good enough, Burst of Destiny also introduces a new trap in Break the Destiny. A trap that can be used while you control a Plasma to skip your opponent's next main phase 1, but can also be banished to search DForce, effectively giving you upwards of 6 ways to set up a DForce Plasma to threaten game. And while I don't know if this is the best way to go with Destiny Heroes, I can tell you that this synergy is definitely one to consider the next time you may want to build Destiny Heroes. Getting back into it with the last pack on the left side. So far, we pulled already some pretty good things. We have an Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, a reprint of Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, not in gold rare for the first time. I think a lot of people were looking for that. A Curry Born, a 5-star Twilight, the swarming card for all your Kuribo brothers, and a Grandpa Demeto, one of the cards for the Box of Friends support. I'm quite shocked they actually made more support for that, given that it started off as a random monster in Numbers Hunter, but here's everything. One Downer Magician, Dr. D, a Reborn card for the Destiny Heroes, a Soul Burning Gate, and either Icebound God, as well as the Altergeist Pukuri. Alright, what else do we get? We have another Resurgent Mixies, another Numbers Protection, Penguin Sword, Fossil Dig, as well as Speedward Scratch, a Cynet mining for the Speedward archetype. From there, our next pack will have a Dollhouse, an Planter Propellion, Curry Babylon for the boss monsters, a Shooting Star Dragon, as well as another Zexal Server Sage. Alright, proceeding from there, we have another Astral Utopia, another Kaiju Capture Mission, AI Show, another Red Eyes Fusion, as well as another Stealth Kraken Spawn. So at this point, I think you're starting to see doubles, so it's good. We don't have to pause any further. We have an Allure of Darkness reprint in Ultra. That's really nice. Another Eidos, a Zexal Catapult, a Ice Knight, as well as another Grandpa Demeto. You know, I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't seen some of the more unique stuff. There's some rares I want to pull. There's some reprints I want to talk about. Another White Mirror is nice, though. The left-hand shark to pair with the right-hand shark for that Crooked Cook deck. A Cypher Interference for Cypher support. Another Sansino, as well as a Piri Reis map. Okay, so Piri Reis map is, I think, a card that a lot of people were looking forward to. It's essentially in the same vein as a card like Small World, in that it searches a lot of different monsters under a specific condition. Specifically monsters with 0 attack, and that has a huge implication for a lot of decks, specifically because a lot of the smaller play enabler monsters all have 0 attack. So I definitely think it's one of those cards to look out for. From there, we have another Korean Bomb Brother in the Kuri B, a Zexal Server Silver Wing, a reprint of Phantom Knight's Rugged Gloves, now in Ultra for its highest rating, a reprint of Wind Up Arsenal Zenmayo, and as well another DForce. Okay, a few more packs left in this box. We're getting by this pretty fast. We have another Resurgent Mixies, another Planter Conversion, a Starlight Road, an Ice Barrier, literally the Ice Barrier, as well as a Wing Recriddle, which is a draw card for if you only control winged beasts. This card's actually really good specifically for something like Lyris, but you can also play it in something like Flowender Reeds as well. From there, we have the Horse of the Floor Knights, a Deal of Destiny, another Allure of Darkness, another Right-Hand Shark, as well as the weirdest secret rare in Yaoi. This card, when summoned, makes your opponent skip their next draw phase, but you can only use it once per duel. People were thinking it was going to be something like a weird Yatagarasu thing. I don't want to say that, but it has some interesting application if someone wants to make a combo with it. We have another Edia, a Thought Ruler Archfiend reprint, Curry Boo as another brother, another Beatrice Lady of the Eternal, as well as number 99 Utopia Dragonar, which is the boss monster for that Utopic structure deck. Very cool. Finally, I believe there's only one pack left from this one. One Shooting Star Dragon, one Void Feast reprint, a basic Karibo reprint, cool, another Dr. D, as well as Karibobble, one of the cards found in the Advent calendar a few years back. Alright, last pack here. Can we get any crazy reprints? This pack will have a Inferno Decatron, another Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, another Zexal Server Ouroboros Sage, another Kariborn, and a Lyrilisc Bird Strike, a Dark World No More for Lyrilisc. And with that, I believe we finished our box opening. And that's going to do it for this Brothers of Legend box opening. Honestly, I gotta say, this set was a blast to open. I love these import sets because they commonly pack an entire suite of new cards, with a good chunk of them being playable cards for a number of decks. And the fact that they also reprint sought after cards like Magician's Souls or Dragoons is just the cherry on top of how great this set is. So if you can get your hands on this set, I definitely recommend a crack at it. Regardless, this has been Tony with a Brothers of Legend box opening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.